Recording in progress.
Session resumed. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we now proceed with the additional reference of business and may ask the Secretary General be directed to read the titles of the bills, resolutions on first reading, as well as communication and committee reports. I so move, Madam Speaker.
The Secretary General is directed to read the titles of bills, resolutions, and communications.
Additional reference of business, resolutions. House Resolution 2457, directing the Committees on Energy and Cooperatives Development to jointly investigate the alleged takeover of the Benguet Electric Cooperative through the anomalous appointment of former PCOO ASEC Ana Maria Paz Rafael by the NEA as its General Manager by Representatives Zarate, Gaite, and Culiamat.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 2458, urging the DOH to study, plan, and prepare for and approve the conversion of the mega quarantine facility in Calambas City as an annex of the PGH or any of the government's COVID-19 referral hospitals by Representative Chipeco.
To the Committee on Health.
House Resolution 2459, urging the House through the Committee on Human Rights to condemn and investigate the killing of farmer-vendor couple Silvestre Fortades Jr. and Rosemary Galias in Barangay San Vicente, Barcelona, Sorsogon by Representatives Culiamat, Zarate, Gaite, Brosas, Castro Franz, and Elago.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 2460, urging the House through the Committee on Human Rights to inquire on the alleged violations of rights and effects of IATF, EID, and other agency-issued resolutions and orders restricting the movement of unvaccinated individuals amid the COVID-19 surge by Representatives Gaite, Zarate, Culiamat, Castro Franz, Brosas, and Elago.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 2461, directing the proper committee to inquire on the extent of implementation of Sections 7 and 26 of the Ease of Doing Business and Efficient Government Service Delivery Act of 2018 by Representatives Villanueva, Eduardo, and Rivera.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 2462, urging the Committee on Government, Enterprises, and Privatization to immediately inquire on the processes conducted by the Gimba Water District in Nueva Ecija prior to its entry to a joint venture agreement with Pamana Water Corporation by Representative Kabatbat.
To the Committee on Rules.
Messages from the Senate. Message dated January 17, 2022, informing the House that the Senate on even date passed with amendments House Bill 8188.
To the Committee on Higher and Technical Education.
Messages dated January 17, 2022, informing the House that the Senate on even date passed with amendments House Bill numbers 6866 and 4983.
To the Committee on Local Government.
Message dated January 17, 2022, informing the House that on even date, the Senate adopted House Bill 10521 as amended to Senate Bill 2376.
To the Committee on National Defense and Security.
Message dated January 17, 2022, informing the House that the Senate on even date passed Senate Bill numbers 1241 and 2302 in which it requests the occurrence of the House.
To the Committee on Trade and Industry.
Message dated January 17, 2022, informing the House that the Senate on even date passed with amendments House Bill 8930.
To the Committee on Government, Enterprises, and Privatization and the Committee on Local Government.
Communications. Letter and emails from certain municipal mayors, provincial governors, and other local government officials informing the House of their reports on fund utilization and status of programs, projects, activities, implementation relative to LGSFs and Bayanihan grant to cities, municipalities, and provinces for certain months of 2021.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letter dated January 8, 2022 of DHSUD Secretary and Chairperson of Pag-ibig Fund Board of Trustees submitting to the House a digital copy of their Pag-ibig Fund 2020 Corporate Annual Report.
To the Committee on Housing and Urban Development.
Email dated January 10, 2022 from the Finance Services Department, NEA, submitting to the House a copy of their report on fund utilization of subsidy funds as of December 31, 2021, approved by the Deputy Administrator, Corporate Resources and Financial Services, NEA.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letters dated January 11 and 13, 2022 of the BSP Deputy Director, Office of the General Counsel and Legal Services, transmitting to the House duly certified copies of certain BSP issuances.
To the Committee on Banks and Financial Intermediaries.
Report dated January 17, 2022 of Honorable Mark Leandro Dong L. Mendoza, Secretary General, House of Representatives, on copies of the following enrolled bills which were returned to the Senate and to be transmitted to the Office of the President for His Excellency's consideration and signature pursuant to Section 18H, Rule 6 of the Rules of the House. Number 1, consolidated version of Senate Bill 2234 and House Bill 2532, and 2, consolidated version of Senate Bill 1928 and House Bill 8203. Report dated January 17, 2022 of Honorable Mark Leandro Dong L. Mendoza, Secretary General, House of Representatives, on copies of the following enrolled bills which were transmitted to the Office of the President for His Excellency's consideration and signature pursuant to Section 18H, Rule 6 of the Rules of the House. 1, House Bill 10153, and 2, House Bill 10373. Committee Report. Report number 1424 of the Committees on Higher and Technical Education, Appropriations, and Ways and Means on House Bill 10694.
To the Committee on Rules.
Additional reference of business. Committee reports. Report number 1425 of the Committee on Ecology on House Bill 10696. Report number 1426 of the Committees on Health, Appropriations, and Ways and Means on House Bill 10697.
To the Committee on Rules. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, in accordance with our rules governing inquiries in aid of legislation, I move that we refer the following House resolution to the appropriate committees. House Resolution 2386 to the Committee on Ways and Means, House Resolution 2388 to the Committee on Public Order and Safety, House Resolution 2393 to the Committee on Information and Communication Technology. House Resolution 2394 to the Committee on Creative Industry and Performing Arts. House Resolution 2397 to the Committee on Government Enterprises and Privatization. House Resolution 2398 to the Committee on Natural Resources. House Resolution 2404 to the Committee on Agriculture and Food. House Resolution 2406 to the Committee on Banks and Financial Intermediaries. House Resolution 2407 to the Committee on Banks and Financial Intermediaries. House Resolution 2412 to the Committee on Banks and Financial Intermediaries. I so move, Madam Speaker.
Are there any objections? The chair hears none. The motion is approved.
Madam Speaker, according with our rules governing queries in aid of legislation, I move that we refer the following privileged speeches to the appropriate committees. Representative Teves to the Committee on Suffrage and Electoral Reforms. Rep. Tolentino to the Committee on Tourism. Rep. Castro to the Committee on Public Order and Safety. Rep. Elago to the Committee on Youth and Sport Development. Rep. Robes to the Committee on Health. Rep. Garcia III to the Committee on Local Government. Rep. Kimbo to the Committee on Basic Education and Culture. Rep. Castro to the Committee on Labor and Employment. Rep. Subiri to the Committee on Poverty Alleviation. Rep. Elago to the Committee on Youth and Sport and Development. I so move, Madam Speaker.
Are there any objections? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, 1 minute suspension.
Session suspended.
Wala pa te, wala pa binibigay. Wala pa daw nagko-confirm. Ano po? Tapos na po yung adjournment po. Thank you, Ate Ivy.
Ano lang yan,
Good afternoon. Boss.
Okay na? Session resumes. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, under the calendar of business for today, I move that we consider House Bill 10650 under Committee Report 1402 submitted by the Committee on Health.
10650.
May I ask the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the bill?
Please repeat, Majority Leader. Please say again.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Bill 10650 under Committee Report 1402 submitted by the Committee on Health. May I ask the Secretary General to read the title of the bill?
Secretary General, please read.
House Bill 10650, an act establishing apex hospitals in every region of the country and providing funds therefore.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of sponsorship and debate.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is carried.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize Honorable Aglipay, who sponsored the measure.
Honorable Aglipa is now recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good afternoon. As one of the principal authors of House Bill 10650, establishing standard modern apex hospitals in every region, allow me to sponsor the proposed legislation in behalf of Chairperson Representative Helen Tan, who is attending an equally important meeting. The present condition of our healthcare delivery system at present is that medical services are inequitable because most of the specialty hospitals are situated in Metro Manila. Many of our regional hospitals could not address patients requiring specialized medical care. With this, the main objective of this proposed measure is to strengthen the Philippine health delivery system and to achieve universal health care for Filipinos through the modernization of existing and establishment of new apex hospitals in every region. This measure will provide the conversion of regional hospitals, which are general hospitals that have at least 500 beds and have been identified by the Department of Health to have full potential to operate as apex hospitals based on the Philippine Health Facility Development Plan to apex hospitals. This will also require the annual inventory and audit of apex hospitals for continuous development and to determine the need to establish new apex hospitals in line with the apex hospital modernization plan. With this, I request this honorable chamber to favorably consider the aforementioned measure. Thank you.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being no other member who wishes to interpolate the sponsor, I move that we close the period of sponsorship and debate.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is carried.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendment.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is carried.
Mr. Speaker, there being no other member who wishes to introduce a committee amendment nor individual amendments, I move that we close the period of amendment.
Any objections? Chair hears none. Motion is carried.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we vote on second reading House Bill 10650. So move, Mr. Speaker.
There is a motion to vote on second reading House Bill 10650. Those who are in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill 10650 is now approved on second reading. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move for 1 minute suspension. Move, Mr. Speaker.
session suspended. Session resumes.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Bill number 10690 as contained in the committee report 1420 submitted by the Committee on Higher and Technical Education. I would like to request the Secretary General to read the title of the bill. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Please read.
House Bill 10690, an act prescribing the use of neo-ethnic Philippine textile in the academic regalia of all state universities and colleges and appropriating funds therefore.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of sponsorship and debate. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is carried.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the chairperson, Congressman Marco of the Committee on Higher and Technical Education, to be recognized to begin the sponsorship of the measure. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Go is now recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. In behalf of our committee, I would like to move that the explanatory note of said bill be adopted as the sponsorship speech of the said measure, Mr. Chair.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there will be no other member who wishes to interpolate. I move that we close the period of debate.
Any
Move.
objection?
Sponsorship and debate. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is carried.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendments. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is carried.
Mr. Speaker, there will be no member who wishes to introduce a committee amendment. So with this, I move to individual amendment, and we move to close the period of individual amendment.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is carried.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we vote on second reading House Bill number 10690, Mr. Speaker. So move.
There is a motion to vote on House Bill 10690 on second reading. Those who are in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill 10690 is now approved on second reading. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend session for a minute. So move,
Session
Mr.
suspended.
Speaker. So dapat we move that we terminate with the other no other committee. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Session resumes.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we now consider House Bill 10647 under Committee Report 1399 submitted by the Committee on Senior Citizens. May I request the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the bill? I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Please read.
House Bill 10647, an act granting additional benefits to Filipino centenarians, recognizing octogenarians and non-agenarians, and appropriating funds therefore, amending for the purpose Republic Act Number 10868, otherwise known as the Centenarians Act of 2016.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of sponsorship and debate. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is carried.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the chairperson of the Committee on Senior Citizen, Honorable Rodolfo Ordonez, to sponsorship the measure. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Ordonez is now recognized.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker and members of this august body. Thank you for considering this pioneering bill for our senior citizens entitled An Act Granting Additional Benefits to Filipino Centenarians, Recognizing Octogenarians and Non-Agenarians, and appropriating funds therefore, amending for the purpose Republic Act Number 10868, otherwise known as the Centenarians Act of 2016. Republic Act Number 1068, otherwise known as the Centenarians Act of 2016, is a widely celebrated law that gives honor to our elderly Filipinos on the occasion of their 100th birthday. It served as a testament on how our community values its centenarians by granting them additional benefits and privileges. Unfortunately, very few Filipinos live up to 100 years or more. Some of them do not fully appreciate and enjoy the value of money and accolade due to the ever-increasing cost of living, among other factors. Healthcare, in particular, has become inaccessible due to the prohibitive costs of medication, treatments, and diagnostic procedures. The upward cost of basic goods, services, and utilities have also increased the financial burden on many of our senior citizens and their families, leaving them with no other choice but to forego regular medical treatments. Thus, this bill seeks to amend Republic Act 10868 by allowing our senior citizens to receive 25,000 pesos upon reaching the ages of 80, 85, 90, and 95 years old, while octogenarians and nonagenarians are nearing the age of centenarians. They have also shared their wisdom and invaluable experiences to our youth and should likewise be paid proper respect and feel equally valued. While they are physically and comparatively stronger than centenarians, they could still fully appreciate the value of money and recognition. Nakasaad din po sa panukalang ito kung inyong mamarapatin ay mabigyan pa po ng ang centenarians na 1 milyong piso kapag naabot ang isang daan at isang taon na kaarawan. It is hoped that making this sum available to our elderly Filipinos will enable them to obtain the care needed to remain in good health, as well as add comfort and quality to their remaining years. Your Honor, with your support and kind indulgence, I, together with other authors and co-authors of these 29 consolidated measures, seek the immediate approval of this bill. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being no other member who wishes to interpolate the sponsor, I move that we close the period of sponsorship and debate. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is carried.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendment.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is carried.
Mr. Speaker, there being no other member who wishes to introduce committee amendments nor individual amendments, I move that we close the period of amendment.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is carried.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we vote on second reading House Bill 10647. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
There is a motion to vote on second reading House Bill 10647. Those who are in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill 10647 is now approved on second reading. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to consider House Bill 10657, other committee report 1404, and request the Secretary General to read the title of the House Bill.
Secretary General, please read.
House Bill 10657, an act promoting Philippine indigenous and traditional writing systems and providing for their protection, preservation, and conservation.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of sponsorship and debate.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is carried.
Mr. Speaker, there being no member who wishes to interpolate, I move that we terminate the period of sponsorship and debate.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is carried.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of interpellation.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is carried.
Mr. Speaker, there being no committee or individual amendment, I move that we close the period of amendments.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is carried.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we vote on second reading House Bill number 10672.
10657. Motion suspended. Session suspended. Session resumes. There is a motion for approval on second reading House Bill 10657. Those who are in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill 10657 is now approved on second reading.
Mr. Speaker?
Go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, muli po maraming salamat po sa pagpasa po ng for second reading ng House Bill 10657 bilang isa po sa mga principal author. Alam nating lahat kung gaano kaimportante ang pagreserba ng ating kasaysayan. Kaya maraming salamat po sa lahat ng sumuporta po sa bill na ito.
Okay, noted. Thank you also. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Bill 10672 under Committee Report 1408 and request the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the House Bill.
Secretary General, please read.
House Bill 10672, an act renaming the Literacy Coordinating Council to National Literacy Council, strengthening its powers and functions, expanding its membership structure and support mechanisms, and appropriating funds therefore, repealing for the purpose Republic Act Number 7165 as amended.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of sponsorship and debate.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is carried.
Mr. Speaker, I move to recognize the Honorable Deputy Majority Leader, Honorable Yul Nieto Servo to introduce his sponsorship speech.
Representative Yul Servo is now recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt the explanatory note as the sponsorship speech of House Bill 10672. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is carried.
Mr. Speaker, there being no other member of the House who wishes to interpolate the honorable sponsor, I move that we terminate the period of sponsorship and debate. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is carried. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of interpellation. Withdrawn, Mr. Speaker. I move to open the period of amendments.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is carried.
Mr. Speaker, there being no member who wishes to introduce committee or individual amendments, we move that we close the period of amendments.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is carried.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we vote on second reading House Bill number 10672. So move, Mr. Speaker.
There is a motion to vote on second reading House Bill 10672. Those who are in favor for its approval, please say aye. Aye. Those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill 10672 is now approved on second reading. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to elect Representative Xavier Jesus D. Romualdo, Vice Representative John Reynald M. Tiamco, as member of the Conference Committee on the Disagreeing Provisions of House Bill number 78, or an act providing for the definition of public utility, further amending for the purpose Commonwealth Act number 146, otherwise known as the Public Service Act as amended, and Senate Bill number 2094, or an act amending Commonwealth Act number 146, otherwise known as the Public Service Act as amended. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is carried. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider Committee Report number 1393 on House Resolution number 1711, and may we direct the Secretary General to read the title of the resolution. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Secretary General, please read.
House Resolution number 1711, resolution urging the Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability to conduct an inquiry in aid of legislation on the policies and guidelines of the Department of Health and the Food and Drug Administration for the registration, utilization, manufacture, distribution, or sale of drug products for the coronavirus disease, particularly policies and guidelines which appear to be detrimental to the public interest.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt the findings and recommendations of the Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability as contained in the committee report number 1393. So move, Mr. Speaker.
There any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is approved. The findings and recommendations of the Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability as contained in committee report number 1393 is hereby adopted. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend session.
Session suspended. Omnibus. Okay na tayo. Session resumes.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider bills under the calendar of business for Thursday and Friday. Mr. Speaker, pursuant to our rules, allow me to set forth by way of an omnibus motion for consideration the following bills. House Bill number 10662 under Committee Report 1406. House Bill number 10663 under Committee Report 1407. House Bill number 10683 under Committee Report 1415. House Bill 10677 under Committee Report 1410. House Bill 1069 under Committee Report 1421. House Bill 10692 under Committee Report 1422. House Bill 10643 under Committee Report 1397. House Bill 10684 under Committee Report 1416. I request the Secretary General be directed to read the titles of the House bills as enumerated. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Secretary General, please read.
House Bill 10662, an act converting the Tribal Filipino School of Tambelang known as the TFS of Tambelang Elementary School in Barangay Dato Danwata, Municipality of Malita, Province of Davao Occidental into an integrated school to be known as the TFS of Tambelang Integrated School and appropriating funds therefore. House Bill 10663, an act separating the Mariano Peralta National High School, Dato Danwata, extension in Barangay Dato Danwata, Municipality of Malita, Province of Davao Occidental from Mariano Peralta National High School, converting it into an independent national high school to be known as the Gaspar Danwata National High School, and appropriating funds therefore. House Bill 10683, an act creating the Siargao Islands Development Authority, prescribing its powers, functions, and duties, and providing funds therefore. House Bill 10677, an act establishing a campus of the Mindanao State University in the municipality of Bunay, province of Lanao del Norte, to be known as the Mindanao State University Bunay Campus, and appropriating funds therefore. House Bill 10691, an act establishing campuses of the Ilocos Sur Polytechnic State College in the municipalities of San Juan and Cabugao, province of Ilocos Sur, to be known as respectively as the Ilocos Sur Polytechnic State College San Juan Campus and the Ilocos Sur Polytechnic State College Cabugao Campus, and appropriating funds therefore. House Bill 10692, an act establishing a campus of the University of Science and Technology of Southern Philippines in Barangay Lumbias, City of Cagayan de Oro, Province of Misamis Oriental, to be known as the University of Science and Technology of Southern Philippines, Lumbia Campus, and appropriating funds therefore. House Bill 10643, an act declaring a parcel of land located in the municipality of Nueva Valencia in the province of Guimaras a protected area with the category of National Park under the National Integrated Protected Area System, to be referred to as the Tacloban and Tandog Group of Islands National Park, providing for its management and appropriating funds therefore. House Bill 10684, an act establishing the CDO Sendong Memorial Eco Parks and Shrines in the city of Cagayan de Oro, and appropriating funds therefore.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider the respective explanatory notes as the sponsorship of the said measure. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is carried.
Mr. Speaker, there being a member who wishes to interpolate on the said local bills, I move that we terminate the period of interpellation.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is carried.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendments and approve the committee amendments, if any, as contained in the respective committee reports of the aforementioned bills. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is carried.
Mr. Speaker, there being individual amendments, I move that we terminate the period of amendments.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is carried.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we vote on second reading the House bills as mentioned heretofore. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
There is a motion for omnibus approval of on second reading of bills previously enumerated. Those who are in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. The aforementioned local bills are now approved on second reading. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Bill 10693, submitted by the Committee Report 14223, submitted by the Committee on Science and Technology. And may I request the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the bill.
Secretary General, please read.
House Bill 10693, an act converting the Provincial Science and Technology Center into the Provincial Science and Technology Office in every province and appropriating funds therefore, repealing for the purpose Republic Act Number 6959.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of sponsorship and debate.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is carried.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the chairperson of the committee, the author, Honorable Faustino Ino D, be recognized to sponsor the measure.
Representative D is now recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To our dear colleagues, good afternoon. In behalf of our chairman, Kong Aris Umentado, and the Committee on Science, Technology, I present to this body House Bill number 10693, or an act converting the Provincial Science and Technology Center into the Provincial Science and Technology Office in every province and appropriating funds therefore, repealing for the purpose Republic Act number 6959. Mr. Speaker, the objective of the bill is to enable the transfer of relevant and appropriate technologies and services to the rural areas, bridge the gap between highly urbanized cities and provinces, and garner support from the public and private institutions for sustainable development. And in essence, Mr. Speaker, it converts the Provincial Science and Technology Center into our Provincial Science and Technology offices in every province. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being no other member who wishes to interpolate the sponsor, I move that we terminate the period of sponsorship and debate. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is carried.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendments.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is carried.
Mr. Speaker, there being no other member who wishes to introduce committee amendments nor individual amendments, I move that we close the period of amendment.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is carried.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we vote on second reading House Bill 10693. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
There is a motion to vote on second reading House Bill 10693. Those who are in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill 10693 is now approved on second reading. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Resolution 2425 under Committee Report 1394, submitted by the Committee on Cooperative Development. May I request the Secretary General be directed to read the title of House Resolution.
Secretary General, please read.
House Resolution 2425, Resolution commending the Holy Child Multipurpose Cooperative for its exemplary contribution to community and nation building.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt House Resolution 2425. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
There is a motion for the adoption of House Resolution 2425. Those who are in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Resolution 2425 is hereby adopted. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Resolution 2427 under Committee Report 1395, submitted by the Cooperative Development. For this purpose, may I ask the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the House Resolution. I so move, Mr.
Secretary
Speaker.
General, please read.
House Resolution 2427, Resolution commending the Oro Integrated Cooperative for its outstanding contributions to cooperative development and its remarkable achievements in promoting poverty alleviation, economic growth, sustainable development, and nation building.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt House Resolution 2427.
There is a motion for the adoption of House Resolution 2427. Those who are in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Resolution 2427 is hereby adopted.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Resolution 2429 under Committee Report 1398. And for this purpose, may I ask the Secretary General be directed to read the title of resolution.
Secretary General, please read.
House Resolution 2429, Resolution commending the Abuyog St. Francis Xavier Credit Cooperative for its exemplary contribution to cooperative development and its remarkable achievement as a partner for economic growth, sustainable development, and nation building.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt House Resolution 2429. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
There's a motion for the adoption of House Resolution 2429. Those who are in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Resolution 2429 is hereby adopted. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Resolution 2448 under Committee Report 1417 submitted by the Committee on Cooperative Development. And for this purpose, may I request the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the House Resolution.
Secretary General, please read.
House Resolution 2448, Resolution commending the Northern Luzon Federation of Cooperatives and Development Center for its exemplary commitment and contribution to the economic and sustainable growth and development of cooperatives.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt House Resolution 2448. Asa mo, Mr. Speaker?
There's a motion for the adoption of House Resolution 2448. Those who are in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Resolution 2448 is hereby adopted. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Resolution 2456 under Committee Report 1418 submitted by the Committee on Cooperatives Development. And for this purpose, may I request the Secretary General be directed to read the title of House Resolution.
Secretary General, please read.
House Resolution 2456, Resolution commending the Sindangan Farmers Cooperative and Marketing Association for its remarkable achievements in promoting poverty alleviation, economic growth, sustainable development, and the empowerment of farmers.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt House Resolution 2456.
There's a motion for the adoption of House Resolution 2456. Those who are in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Resolution 2456 is hereby adopted. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Resolution number 2447 under Committee Report 1414 submitted by the Committee on Women and Gender Equality. For this purpose, may I request the Secretary General be directed to read the title of House Resolution.
Secretary General, please read.
House Resolution 2447, Resolution congratulating the National Federation of Women's Clubs of the Philippines on the occasion of its centennial anniversary and commending its vital contribution to the promotion of the welfare of women in the Philippines, most especially by having led the fight for the attainment of the Filipino women's right to suffrage.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt House Resolution 2447. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
There's a motion to adopt House Resolution 2447. Those who are in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Resolution 2447 is hereby adopted. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Resolution number 2428 under Committee Report 1396 submitted by Youth and Sports Development. And for this purpose, I request the Secretary General to please read the title of the resolution. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Secretary General, please read.
House Resolution 2428, Resolution recognizing the immense sacrifices, patriotism, and dedication of all Filipino athletes who qualified for the 2020 Tokyo Summer Olympic and Paralympic Games and commending the officials of the Philippine Sports Commission under the leadership of Chairperson William Butch Ramirez for their invaluable support and assistance to the Filipino Olympians.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt the House Resolution number 2428. So move, Mr. Speaker.
There's a motion to adopt House Resolution 2428. Those who are in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Resolution 2428 is hereby adopted. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Resolution number 2441 under Committee Report 1411. For this purpose, may we request the Secretary General to please read the title of the resolution.
Secretary General, please read.
House Resolution 2441, resolution congratulating the recipients of the Outstanding Young Men of the Philippines 2020 awards who were recognized for their outstanding contributions to Philippine society by the Junior Chamber International Philippines, the Outstanding Young Men Foundation, Inc., the Jerry Ross Foundation, Inc., and the Advantage Management Consulting Philippines, Inc.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt House Resolution 2441. So move, Mr. Speaker.
There's a motion for the adoption of House Resolution 2441. Those who are in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Resolution 2441 is hereby adopted. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Resolution number 2442 under Committee Report 1412. And for this purpose, I move that we request the Secretary General to please read the title of the resolution. So move,
Secretary
Mr.
General,
Speaker.
please read.
House Resolution 2442, resolution expressing the gratitude of the Filipino people to the individuals and private organizations who provided financial and material support and incentives to Filipino athletes who competed in the 2020 Tokyo Summer Olympic Games, and commending them for their sterling display of generosity and love of country.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt House Resolution number 2442. So move, Mr. Speaker.
There is a motion for the adoption of House Resolution 2442. Those who are in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Resolution 2442 is hereby adopted. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we move to suspend session.
Session
A minute.
suspended.
Thank you.
Sir.
Session resumes.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Bill 10658 under Committee Report 1405 submitted by the Committee on Welfare of Children. And for this purpose, may I request the Secretary General be directed to read the House Bill.
Secretary General, please read.
House Bill 10658, an act strengthening the policies on anti-trafficking in persons and appropriating funds therefore, amending for the purpose Republic Act number 9208 as amended, otherwise known as the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Act of 2003.
Mr. Speaker,
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of sponsorship and debate.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion's carried.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize Honorable Deputy Speaker Bernadette B.H. Herrera D. to sponsor the measure.
Deputy Speaker Bernadette Herrera is now recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the explanatory note be made as a sponsorship speech of this measure, Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being no other member who wishes to interpolate the sponsor, I move that we close or terminate the period of sponsorship and to terminate the sponsorship and debate. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion's carried.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendment.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion's carried.
Mr. Speaker, there being no other member who wishes to introduce committee amendments nor individual amendments, I move that we close the period of amendment.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion's carried.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we vote on second reading House Bill 10658.
There is a motion to vote on second reading House Bill 10658. Those who are in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill 10658 is now approved on second reading.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Welcome. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend session.
Session suspended. Session resumes.
Mr. Speaker, we are in receipt of a message from the Senate informing the House that the Senate passed with amendments House Bill number 8188 entitled An Act Converting the Ilocos Polytechnic State College in the Municipality of Santa Maria, Province of Ilocos and all its campuses in the Province of Ilocos into a state university, integrating with the North Luzon Philippine State College in the city of Candon, Province of Ilocos to be known as the Ilocos Philippines Polytechnic University. Mr. Speaker, we have been advised that the Committee on Higher and Technical Education, sponsor of the said House Bill, as well as the author thereof, has no objections to the amendments introduced thereto by the Senate. In accordance with the rules, I move that we concur with the Senate amendments to House Bill number 8188. So move, Mr. Speaker.
There is a motion for concurrence of House Bill number 8188. Those who are in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. Motion to concur with the House Bill number, with the Senate amendments to House Bill number 8188 is now approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, for unfinished business. One minute suspension, Mr. Speaker.
Session suspended. Marami pa ba?
Mr. Speaker.
Session resumes.
Mr. Speaker, under the calendar of unfinished business, I move that we resume consideration of House Bill 10571 under Committee Report 1364 submitted by the Committee on Transportation. And for this purpose, may I ask the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the bill.
Secretary General, please read.
House Bill 10571, an act regulating the operation of motorcycles for hire.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the parliamentary status of the bill is that it is in the period of sponsorship and debate. I move that the chairperson of the Committee on Transportation, Honorable Edgar Mary Sarmiento, be recognized.
Honorable Sarmiento is now recognized.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Speaker. Once again, Mr. Speaker, I would like to sponsor House Bill number 10571 under Committee Report 1364. Ito po, Mr. Speaker, this is the Motorcycle for Hire Act. At ito po yung na-schedule kahapon. At as Chairman of the Committee on Transportation, I am ready for any question that might be raised by my colleagues, Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize Honorable Carlos Asagani T. Zarate to interpolate the sponsor.
Representative Zarate is now recognized.
Thank you. Maraming salamat, Ginoong Speaker. Papayagan po ba ng ating kagalang-galang na sponsor na tanong tayo ng ilang mga paglilinaw dito sa ating panukalang batas.
Ako'y pumapayag po, Mr. Speaker, sa kagalang-galang na Carlos Zarate.
Maraming salamat, Ginoong Sponsor, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Sponsor, Mr. Speaker, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, ang panukalang batas na ito ay nabalangkas natin, no? Binalangkas ng komite. Halos mahigit 2 taon nang nakalipas, no? Bago pa man nagka-pandemya, ang pagbalangkas ng panukalang batas na ito. Tugon ito doon sa dumadami at lumalawak na partisipasyon, no, ng mga motorcycle riders in ferrying our transport clients, and even not only to ferry passengers but even paghahatid, no, ng mga dokumento at iba't iba pang mga serbisyo na pinoprovide nito mga private transport services. Tama po ba yung aking pagkalarawan na yon, Ginoong Sponsor, Mr. Speaker?
Tama po yan, Mr. Speaker. Ito pong panukalang batas natin na pinag-uusapan po, itong 10571, ito po yung napag-aralan sa 2 taon at dumaan po siya sa technical working group. Ito po ay tungkol po, ulitin natin, sa paggamit po ng motorsiklo na isa na pong transportasyon. Nakasama na po doon ang goods, service at saka mails po.
Thank you, good sponsor, Mr. Speaker. At ito nga ay, itong phenomenon na ito, na dati, we are advocating, no, na kailangan magkaroon tayo ng mass transportation, no, na sagot doon sa problema natin. Hindi lang sa trapiko, kundi ang kakulangan talaga ng transportasyon sa ating bansa. Pero ang nangyari dito, ang naglipana ay hindi na mass transportation, no? Kung hindi individual motorcycle. No? Probably because it's very easy to acquire a motorcycle now compared to previous years. And sa halip na itong motorcycle na ito ay para pang individual, dahil na rin siguro sa kasalatan ng hanapbuhay sa ating bayan, ginagawang hanapbuhay ito ng marami nating mga kababayan, lalong-lalo na sa mga probinsya. Now, Mr. Sponsor, good speaker, one of the concerns raised, I recall, during the several committee hearings that we conducted on this proposed bill was the fact that instead of answering the problems posed, no, dahil individual, kanya-kanya, no, ng pagpapatakbo nitong mga paggamit nitong mga motorsiklo, lalong-lalo sa probinsya, lumalabas, merong mga malalaking kumpanya na sumali na rin sa ganitong klase ng serbisyo. Dati, sa ating probinsya, ang tawag dito, yung mga habal-habal lang, no? But in the big cities, dumating na yung phenomenon na big companies are already entering into this kind of business. So merong mga angkas dyan, merong mga Grab, merong Foodpanda, at marami pang iba. So, ang isang na-raise doon na dapat ma-address ay yung baka naman itong pagtatakda o pagbabalangkas ng batas na ito ay magre-resulta lamang sa monopolyo ng iilan sa emerging industry na ito na sumasama nga o sumasali dito sa pagbibigay ng serbisyong transportasyon sa ating mga kababayan. Pwede po bang marinig natin ang tindig ng ating kagalang-galang na sponsor dito?
Mr. Speaker, ganito, tama po ang sinasabi ni Honorable Carlos Zarate, dapat po ay mass public transportation. Habang tayo po'y ginagawa po ng Department of Transportation, ang hanay po ng mass public transportation, specifically dito po sa train at saka sa buses. Ito naman ang kakaiba po rito, Mr. Speaker, ay ito po ay online platform po, ano? At totoo po, kaya po ay pinapasa natin itong isang batas na 10571 dahil nga po gusto natin magkaroon talaga ng balanse at hindi dapat nang nabibigyan lang po ang malalaking kumpanya. No? Sa ngayon po, Mr. Speaker, nasa hanay lang po ng Land Transportation Office, specifically yung Technical Working Group na paminsan nga pabago-bago yung desisyon. Ayaw po natin mangyari ito. Kaya po kung sakali pumasa po ito at maging isang batas, dito po sa IRR na maliwanag po within 60 days matatapos po, no? Maliwanag po na bago nila permahan at gamitin talaga ang IRR, ito titingnan muna natin kung nararapat ba talaga ang spirito po ng batas na gagawin po natin dito po sa tinatawag na equitable representation ng lahat po ng hanay na hindi po pinapaboran ang malalaking kumpanya.
Maraming salamat, Ginoong Sponsor, Mr. Speaker. By the way, bago ang panukalang batas na ito, matanong ko lang po sa kagalang-galang na sponsor, hindi po ba ang mga ganitong klase ng transportasyon is already being regulated by the local government?
Ganito po yan, Mr. Speaker, ang hanay po ng itong motorsiklo ay hindi po nasa hanay po ng local government. Ang nasa hanay lang po ng local government ay yung pedicab lang po. Ano? Kaya nga, ulitin po natin, Mr. Speaker, to the Honorable Carlos Zarate, ito po ay online platform at pinagpilitan po natin ito dahil nga po rito sa pandemya. At nararapat lang ang sinasabi dati na para maiwas po doon sa transmission ng virus, kaya naipasok po talaga natin ito. At to address some concerns, lalo na ang doon gusto rin gumamit ng parang isa lang ang masasakyan na hindi ayaw niyang sumama doon sa ibang sasakyan kagaya po ng jeepney, buses at saka train.
Salamat, kagalang-galang na sponsor. Kasi ko po, ang pangalan ng ating panukalang batas, an act regulating the operation of motorcycles for hire. Isang bagong aspeto talaga ito ng ating industriya ng transportasyon dahil traditionally naman, motorcycles are not considered as common carriers. No? But here, dahil nga sa phenomenon na ginagawa na rin talaga siyang mode of transportation, no? Ang sinasabi rito sa ating panukalang batas, motorcycles for hire now will be considered as common carriers. Dapat, ganun, ay merong degree of diligence required sa mga operators nitong common carriers na ito, just like public utility vehicles, buses, etc. No? Pwede po bang mailatag ng ating kagalang-galang na sponsor? No? Dahil po ang sa statistika, ngayon sa ating bansa, araw-araw talaga hindi bababa siguro sa 5 aksidente involving motorcycles or in general motorcycles. Dito po ba sa ating panukalang batas na ito, paano po ang proteksyon ng publiko pag gumamit sila ng motorcycle for hire as a mode of transportation? Mr. Sponsor, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, tama po ang kagalang-galang ni si Carlos Zarate ng Bayan Muna. Dito po sa batas natin na Acta Republica 4136, itong Land Transportation and Traffic Code Act, specifically po sa Section 7, hindi po dapat nararapat ang motorsiklo na gamitin po na isang public transportation. Kanya lang, dahil nga po ito'y nagagamit na po sa Thailand, sa iba-ibang ASEAN countries, ito po'y pinasok po rito noong 2018, kaya nagkaroon po tayo ng pilot study. Dito naman sa pilot study, maliwanag po, tinignan natin ang aspeto ng safety, kasi yun po talaga ang una-munang tinitingnan natin, kasi dalawa nga lang po ang gulong. No? Kaya ang sinasabi po ng batas nito, ang isang rider po, kung siya nagdadrive ng motorsiklo, dapat po siya may professional driver's license. Pangalawa po, dapat po magkakaroon ng manual ang TESDA doon po sa safety factor. Hindi nila pwede pong gamitin ang modification. At pangatlo po, ang pinakamabilis na speed po nila ay dapat nasa 60 kilometro lang po bawat oras.
Okay, so maraming salamat, Ginoong Sponsor, Mr. Speaker. So I understand magiging kabahagi ito ng babalangkasin the event na maging batas ito, ang babalangkasin na implementing rules and regulation, no? Yung involvement ng different agencies to ensure the safety and protection of our riding public. Now, also, ginong sponsor, Mr. Speaker, during the committee hearings, one of the major concerns also raised, especially by the riders, ng mga hinahire. Pakikita ba sa ating panukalang batas kung ano ang maging relasyon ng mga riders per se at ano ang relasyon nila doon sa tinatawag nating mga may-ari ng platform or yung transport network TNCs, no? Transportation Network Company, Mr. Sponsor, Mr. Speaker.
Una-una po, itong pong mga riders o motorcycle drivers, sila po ay dapat magkaroon muna ng motorsiklo, sila po ay dapat may driver's license na professional, dapat po may ORCR, kompleto sila, at sila po ay mag-a-apply dito nga sa tinatawag natin na online e-commerce platform providers. No? Ang hinihingi naman na itong OEPP o online e-commerce platform provider ay dapat po sila ay magbayad ng itong tinatawag nila na one-time na registration fee na nasa 1,500 pesos. Pangalawa po, dapat mayroon po silang e-wallet na may iwan roon. Pangatlo po, dapat sila po ay dadaan rito sa tamang training doon sa OEPP o itong digital platform provider. At itong lahat ng kailangan na papel, dapat po sila mag-a-apply at sila ay tatanggapin. Ito naman mga OEPP o online e-commerce platform provider, sila po ay tinitingnan rin po ng Land Transportation Office at saka ng LTFRB ang kapasidad po nila ng training na dapat po lahat ng riders itama po ang training po nila. Ang naging reklamo lang po sa naririnig ko sa mga riders, paminsan may mga binabayaran po sila na nireklamo nila, kagaya po ng itong mga bag sa delivery ng goods, no? Na sila'y pinababayad. Hindi lang po yung bag mismo, buwanan po, nagbabayad pa sila nagdagdag, no? Nung tinanong ko po, Mr. Speaker, kung ano bang nararapat sa kanila, kung gusto po nilang sahuran lang sila ng arawan o buwanan, ang sabi naman po nila sa akin, Mr. Speaker, kagalang-galang na kalusaratin ng bayan muna, na mas pabor po sila na hindi lang po sila sasahuran kasi mas malaki po ang kinikita po nila as a rider, no? Ang gusto lang nila na yung iba po, wag naman abusuhin yung binabayaran ng riders sa kanila. Maliwanag rin po ang sinasabi nila na doon po sa komisyon, usually 20% pong binabayaran ng rider dito po sa OEPP, ay maganda naman po ang nagiging resulta. So, ang relasyon po talaga ng rider dito po sa OEPP, well-defined naman po, Mr. Speaker, wala naman po silang question. Yun lang po talaga, sana naman may mga bayad, mayroon ng binabayaran sila na charge rin ng OEPP na dapat rin tinitingnan. Ito sisiguraduhin po natin na dito po sa IRR, maliwanag talagang definition na wag naman po kawawa ang mga riders natin.
Thank you, good sponsor, Mr. Speaker, for that clarification. Dahil yan, especially during this pandemic, no? Kaya tinanong ko yung history nito. Dinalangkas kasi ito prior to the pandemic. And I so presume, good sponsor, Mr. Speaker, that there are already adjustments made in the proposed bill dahil marami tayong nakitang developments, no, during the time of the pandemic. In fact, sa panahon ng pandemya, ang isang buhay na sektor na at least meron pa rin silang hanap buhay, trabaho, ay yung mga riders. No? Dahil nga naging common. Kahit na yung mga pagkain natin na nasa lockdown, sila ang naghahatid. No? But isa sa malaking problemang kanilang pinapaabot sa atin, yung magkaiba ang standards ng bawat provider. No? There's a provider na wala naman silang reklamo dahil parang mabilis dumating yung kanilang kikitain. No? Pero meron namang mga providers na luging-lugi pa sila pagdating ng panahon na magkukompute na sila magkano ba ang sasahurin nila. So, yun po ang point ng aking tanong kanina, if there is a uniform standards that will be followed, or agencies concerned, especially the regulating agencies, are so empowered in this proposed bill so that they can craft standards, no, that will be followed by these TNCs as well as the riders, Mr. Sponsor, Mr. Speaker.
Tamang-tama po kayo, Mr. Speaker. Maliban po doon sa dapat parehas po talagang standard, may sinama po tayo rito na security para po sa mga riders na hindi na po sila nasa isang itong tinatawag na online e-commerce platform provider lang po, Mr. Speaker. Itong nasa page 2 po natin sa batas po, itong multi-homing, na po pwede po silang magkaroon na ng iba-ibang digital platform na hindi po isang monopoliya, pwede po sila maglipat-lipat. Pag tingin po nila, sila yung nilalamangan. Siguro naman na lilipat po sila doon sa kumpanya kung saan naman ang trato po sa kanila ay tama at balanse po. At makikita po natin yan down the line po, Mr. Speaker, kagalang-galang na Carlos Zarate, siguro kung sino po ang nararapat na tingin nila ay maganda ang pagtrato po sa mga riders, wari ko naman, through word of mouth, lilipat at lilipat po ito sila sa isang kumpanya na tingin nila nararapat ang tingin din po sa kanila.
Salamat po sa naging paglilinaw. Another aspect naman po na lilinawin natin, sino po ang magtatakda ng dapat bayaran pag nag-avail ka ng serbisyo ng isang motorcycle for hire? Is it the TNC or the OEPP? Or again, this will be given or delegated to the regulatory agency, for example, the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board. Mr. Sponsor, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, andito po sa Section 13, itong fair setting natin, maliwanag po nilagay natin dito sa Land Transportation Franchising Regulatory Board. Ibig sabihin po, magkakaroon na tayo ng fixed rate, more or less, na hindi naman masyadong mahal ang binabayaran ng publiko dito po sa tinatawag natin na bagong means of transportation, itong motorcycle for hire. Kasi, Mr. Speaker, tama po ang kagalang-galang na Zarate. Dati po ay napakamahal. Umaabot nga ng siguro halos maubos po ang sahod ng isang mamamayan. Ito talaga pong iniiwasan natin. At dapat ipapublish po ito ng LTFRB. Maliwanag po rito sa ating Section 13 na hindi po dapat mahal ang binabayaran po ng mamamayan po.
Thank you, Mr. Sponsor, Mr. Speaker. On to my last point of clarification. Nabanggit ko na rin ito kanina, Mr. Sponsor, Mr. Speaker. Itong mga TNCs or OEPP, mainly nasa sentrong mga syudad lang ito or mga regional hubs. No? But in reality, sa mga probinsya, maraming motorcycle for hire. No? Mga habal-habal. Or tawag dyan sa Diwalwal, sa Davao de Oro, mga skylabs. No? Now, ano po ang mangyayari sa kanila? Dahil wala namang TNC or OEPP sa lugar na yan. Paano ang regulation? Are they covered by this proposed bill that they can also be regulated, Mr. Sponsor, Mr. Speaker?
Mr. Speaker, ang ganda po ng tanong, nagagalang-galang Zarate. Mr. Speaker, dito po sa metropolitan centers, no, kung saan available po ang online system, maganda pong signal, wala po tayong problema. Pero dito po sa mga tinatawag natin rural areas, kung mahina po ang signal, wala masyadong facility po, ang LTFRB, Land Transportation Office, sila po ay makikipag-usap sa local government units, no? Specific, para naman itong mga tinatawag natin na habal-habal, na paminsan na ang mamahal po, ay mariregulate rin po, no? Pero may nilagay tayong safety net na hindi po sila pwedeng makalabas po sa area of jurisdiction mismo doon sa isang local government unit po, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, good sponsor, Mr. Speaker. So, instead of they will be under the TNC or OEPP, ang binanggit po ninyo, ang local government units ba? Ang
Tama po yan.
Jurisdiction
Counting modification po, pero more or less parehas po ang sistema. Kung hindi na-regulate na rin po natin itong mga bahabal na kailangan rin po natin paminsan kung sa ibang lugar talaga wala rin po masakyan. Kaya po itong napaka-importante talaga itong isang batas na po ito.
So yun lang po ang aking mga paglilinaw dito, kagalang-galang na Chair Sarmiento, no, sa panukalang batas na ito na alam kong matagal ding binuo ng inyong komite kasama ng ating mga miyembro at sana po ay maipasa rin ito ng ating kapulungan at ng mataas na kapulungan. Maraming salamat po ulit. Magandang hapon sa ating lahat.
Mr.
Salamat
Speaker,
Speaker.
I just want to put it on record as the Honorable Carlos Zarate and the rest of the members of the minority. In all our hearings, we were there, and they were actively in participation, all the questions, and from the bottom of my heart, I thank them for all their help in crafting the House bill, which ultimately will become a law.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, there being no other member wishes to interpolate the sponsor.
Yep.
I move that we close or terminate the sponsorship and debate.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the period of sponsorship and debate is now terminated.
Madam Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendment.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, period of amendment is now open.
Madam Speaker, there being no other member who wishes to introduce committee amendment nor individual amendment, I move that we close the period of amendment.
Hearing no objection, the period of amendment is now terminated. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we vote on second reading House Bill 10571.
All those in favor of House Bill 10571 say aye.
Aye.
All those against say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill number 10571 is hereby approved on second reading. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker,
Madam Speaker, this representation, Madam Speaker, would like to thank the Honorable Speaker, the Majority Leader, my dear colleagues of this August Chamber for helping me pass House Bill 10571. Taos puso po ako nagpapasalamat po sa inyo lahat. Magandang hapon po sa atin.
Thank you and congratulations. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we now proceed with the additional reference of business and may ask the Secretary General be directed to read the titles of the bills, resolutions on first reading as well as communication and committee reports. I so move, Madam Speaker.
Hearing no objection, motion is approved. The Secretary General is directed to do so.
Additional reference of business. Committee reports. Report number 1427 of the Committee on Local Government and Appropriations on House Bill 10698. Report number 1428 of the Committees on Local Government Appropriations and Ways and Means on House Bill 10699. Report number 1429 of the Committees on Health and Appropriations on House Bill 10701. Report number 1430 of the Committees on Public Works and Highways and Appropriations on House Bill 10702.
To the Committee on Rules. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, in accordance with our rules governing inquiries in aid of legislation, I move that we refer the following House resolutions to the appropriate committees. House Resolution 2421 to the Committee on Local Government, House Resolution 2426 to the Committee on Health, House Resolution 2432 to the Committee on Agriculture and Food, House Resolution 2434 to the Committee on Suffrage and Electoral Reforms, House Resolution 2436 to the Committee on Suffrage and Electoral Reforms, House Resolution 2439 to the Committee on Information and Communication Technology. I so move, Madam Speaker.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, motion is approved.
Madam Speaker, in accordance with our rules governing inquiries in aid of legislation, I move that we refer the following privileged speeches to the appropriate committees. Representative De Jesus to the Committee on Disaster and Resilience, Representative Kimbo to the Committee on Creative Industry and Performing Arts, Representative Chato to the Committee on Climate Change, Representative Castro FL to the Committee on Basic Education and Culture, Representative Ilago to the Committee on Higher and Technical Education. I so move, Madam Speaker.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the privileged speeches are therefore referred to the respective committees. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we include additional co-authors to House Bill numbers 10647, 10650, 10653, 10657, 10658, 10672, 10676, 10679, 10689, 10690, and 10693, and House Resolution numbers 2425, 2427, 2428, 2429, 2441, 2442, 2447, 2448, and 2456 as contained in the list to be submitted by the Committee on Rules. I so move, Madam Speaker.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, 1 minute suspension.
Session suspended. Ano na? Wala na ako dito. Tapos meron pa ba? Abot ba? Oo, abot. Saka? Sa kuya? Ha? Dapat may extension.
Ginawa niyang tatlo, ma'am.
Session resumed. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we resume consideration of House Bill number 10319 and request the Secretary General to read the title of the House Bill.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the Secretary General is hereby directed to do so.
House Bill number 10319, an act providing for a 30-year national infrastructure program.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, the parliamentary status of the bill is that it is in the period of sponsorship and debate. I move to recognize the Honorable Edgar Mary Sarmiento for his sponsorship speech. So moved, Madam Speaker.
Chairman Edgar Sarmiento is hereby recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Majority Leader. Madam Speaker, I would like to sponsor House Bill 10319 under Committee Report number 1274, an act adopting a 30-year national infrastructure program in the country. Madam Speaker, we change the captain of the ship, so to speak, once every 6 years, and that is the President. It is ironic, Madam Speaker, that once we change the President, commonly projects started usually ends down the drain. We should never allow this to happen, Madam Speaker. And on the 17th Congress, Madam Speaker, I just want this to be put on record again. The House made its first ever inspection of all the nautical highways in the country. It was a very beautiful experience, Madam Speaker, that we finally learned the 3 nautical highways of the country, to include most of our road networks, are almost completed. Madam Speaker, there is an urgency really for us to have a 30-year roadmap for the national infrastructure of the country. That includes as well the needed infrastructure support that will counter calamities. Madam Speaker, this representation of the 1st District Samar do believe that for the country to move forward, we have to plan all the major infrastructure to include transportation and even agricultural requirement of this country for the next 3 decades or 30 years from now. Mr. Speaker, this representation is ready for whatever question that might be raised in this body. And thank you so much. And I appeal to my dear colleagues to support me in this bill, a legacy of the 18th Congress. Maraming salamat po. Magandang hapon sa ating lahat.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move to suspend consideration of House Bill number 10319. So moved, Madam Speaker.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, House Bill number 10319 is hereby suspended.
1 minute suspension, Madam Speaker.
Session suspended. Meron pa ba? Okay. For second reading. Oh, shit. Andyan, yung committee report. Committee report. Pag Tagalog ng traffic yun. Traffic. Ha? Ako. Walang paano yung trafficking. Anong pagbebenta? Sasamantala? Sa pagsasamantala. Ng masasamang kaluluwa. Tingnan kasi naman manyak eh. Diba? Iba slave. Oo eh. Pag yun ang nilagay ko, pagsasamantala at abuso. Saan ka? Saan? Saan nga? Saan kayo kumain sa Wawa? Ha? Session resumed. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move for the consideration for second reading House Bill 10696 under Committee Report 1425 submitted by the Committee on Ecology. May I request the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the bill? I so move, Madam Speaker.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the Secretary General is directed to read the title of the bill.
House Bill 10696, an act institutionalizing the practice of extended producer responsibility on plastic products, amending for the purpose Republic Act Number 9003, otherwise known as the Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of 2000.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we open the period of sponsorship and debate. I so move, Madam Speaker.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, period of sponsorship and debate is now open. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize Honorable Chairman Glonna Labad-Labad to sponsor the measure.
The Honorable Labad-Labad is hereby recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. In
Please
the
proceed.
order of business this afternoon is House Bill numbered 10696 on the Extended Producer's Responsibility, or EPR. The measure is a consolidation of 4 House bills numbered 8691, 9859, 10498 and 10646. While plastics have countless uses and benefits to society, its waste has led us into a state of unsustainability today. The world over, latest studies still yield the same result for the Philippines. Dismally, we still rank among the top polluters. Last year, in our hope to address our plastic waste crisis, the committee approved the Bill on Single-Use Plastic, or SUP, which contains the EPR component. This EPR bill, which focuses also on plastic products, is at par with the SUP bill. And in terms of its objective to address the country's predicament on uncollected plastic waste. It is also a solution to prevent the waste and its harmful components from leaking into the environment. The bill at hand aims to establish a system where generators of plastics will be held environmentally responsible for the life cycle of their product, especially in its post-consumer states. Moreover, the EPR bill advocates the circular economy, an alternative to the traditional linear economy of take, use, throw. Circular economy seeks to reduce waste, recovers resources at the end of the producer's life, and channel this back into production, thus significantly reducing pressure on the environment. This EPR bill requires large and medium enterprise plastic product producers to establish EPR programs designed to reduce their production, importation, supply, or use of plastic products, and phase-in programs for the recovery of their plastic footprint and achieve plastic neutrality. As to date, the Senate counterpart bill on the Committee on Environment, chaired by Senator Villar, will be ready by the time we approve this measure. It is my hope and prayer that one day we will not be labeled as one of the countries that highly contributes to the world's garbage, but a nation that models sustainable living. Maraming salamat po, Madam Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, there being no other member who wishes to interpolate the sponsor, I move that we terminate the sponsorship and debate.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, period of sponsorship and debate is now terminated. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendment.
Hearing no objection, period of amendment is now open.
Madam Speaker, there being no other member who wishes to introduce a committee amendment nor individual amendment, I move that we close the period of amendment.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, period of amendment is now terminated. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we vote on second reading House Bill 10696. I so move, Madam Speaker.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill number 10696 is hereby approved on second reading. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move for the consideration of House Bill 10699 under Committee Report 1428 submitted by the Committee on Local Government. And may I request the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the bill.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the Secretary General is directed to do so.
House Bill 10699, an act providing for the Magna Carta of Barangay Health Workers.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we open the period of sponsorship and debate.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, period of sponsorship and debate is now open.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize Honorable Angelica Natasha Ko to sponsor the measure.
The Honorable BHW Representative Natasha Ko is now recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the Philippine Constitution provides that the state shall protect and promote the right to health of the people and instill health consciousness among them. It shall adopt an integrated and comprehensive approach to health development, which shall endeavor to make essential goods, health, and other social services available to all the people at affordable cost. There should be priority for the needs of the underprivileged, sick, elderly, disabled, women, and children. The state shall also endeavor to provide free medical care to paupers. Pursuant to this policy, the government has adopted the primary healthcare approach for health empowerment, which emphasizes the need to provide accessible and acceptable health services through participatory strategies such as the training of the barangay health workers, community building, and organizing, among others. With the devolution of health services to the local government units, however, pursuant to RA 7160, otherwise known as the Local Government Code of 1991, primary healthcare has been relegated to the backseat or tail of local government programs. By and large, it has been at the least priorities of the LGUs. For one, the reality that the unavailability of sufficient fund is a perennial obstacle that cannot be ignored. This despite the increasing health expenditure for both the national and local governments. While Philippine laws as a matter of policy are replete with provisions giving high priority to health, they are also severely lacking of support mechanisms that would realize primary and universal health care. The deplorable state of the barangay health programs and services and the plight of the barangay health workers are glaring manifestations of a skewed policy environment and lack of political will on the part of the government. In 1995, the reenactment of RA 7883, otherwise known as the Barangay Health Workers Benefits and Incentives Act, was then hailed as a great boost to primary health care. Soon enough, however, the law cannot be effectively implemented despite its noble ideas due to insufficient LGU funds. If not for the strong spirit of volunteerism and patriotism of BHWs, primary health care at the barangay level could have been a total flap. Sans the critical support mechanisms such as transportation, subsistence, and hazard allowances, and security of tenure of BHWs. BHWs are the frontliners in primary healthcare as they provide assistance and support to physicians, dentists, nutritionists, public health nurses, and midwives. Their role is indispensable to barangay health and wellness. Yet as volunteers, BHWs are grossly taken for granted. Under such nomenclature as volunteers, it is ironic that our barangay health providers suffer the burnt of poor health services, along with countless barangay folks who are trapped in widespread poverty borne by social inequities. In view of the foregoing, it is imperative to institutionalize and strengthen primary health care at the barangay level by establishing the necessary support mechanisms, by upgrading the incentives and benefits of barangay health workers, and by providing the necessary funds for its effective implementation. The immediate passage of this bill, to be known as an act providing for the Magna Carta of the Barangay Health Workers, with House Bill number 10699, is earnestly sought in keeping the Philippine commitments to the Sustainable Development Goals in the Declaration of Astana on Primary Healthcare. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Representative Ko.
Madam
Majority
Speaker,
Leader.
there being no other member wishes to interpolate the sponsor, I move that we terminate the sponsorship and debate.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, period of sponsorship and debate is now terminated. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendment.
Hearing no objection, period of amendment is now open.
Madam Speaker, there being no other member wishes to introduce committee amendment nor individual amendment, I move that we close the period of amendments.
Hearing no objection, period of amendment is now terminated.
Madam Speaker, I move that we vote on second reading House Bill 10696. I so move, Madam Speaker.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those against, say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill number 10699 is hereby approved on second reading. Congratulations.
Madam Speaker, I move for the consideration of House Bill 10698 under Committee Report 1427 submitted by the Committee on Local Government. For this purpose, may I request the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the bill.
Hearing no objection, the Secretary General is directed to read the title of the bill.
House Bill 10698, an act strengthening the Sangguniang Kabataan by institutionalizing additional reforms to revitalize youth participation in local governance and by providing honorarium, other benefits, and privileges, amending for the purpose certain sections of Republic Act No. 10742, otherwise known as the Sangguniang Kabataan Reform Act of 2015.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we open the period of sponsorship and debate.
Hearing no objection, period of sponsorship and debate is now open. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize Honorable Stella Luz Kimbo of 2nd District of Marikina City to sponsor the measure. I so move, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Stella Kimbo from Marikina City is now recognized. Please proceed.
Madam Speaker, I move that we adopt the explanatory note as the sponsorship speech of HB 10698.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, there being no other member wishes to interpolate the sponsor, I move that we terminate the sponsorship and debate.
Hearing no objection, period of sponsorship and debate is now terminated.
Madam Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendments.
Hearing no objection, period of amendment is now open. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, there being no other no committee amendments, I move that we now proceed to consider the individual amendments.
Hearing no objection, period of amendment is now open.
Madam Speaker, there being no member wishes to introduce individual amendments, I move that we close the period of individual amendments.
Hearing no objection, period of amendment is now terminated.
Madam Speaker, I move that we now vote for second reading House Bill 10698. I so move, Madam Speaker.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill number 10698 is hereby approved on second reading. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we consider House Bill 10701 under Committee Report 1429 submitted by the Committee on Health. And for this purpose, may I request the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the bill.
Hearing no objection, the Secretary General is directed to read the title of the bill.
House Bill 10701, an act granting mandatory continuing benefits to public, private, and barangay health workers during the COVID-19 pandemic and other future public health emergencies and appropriating funds therefore.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we open the period of sponsorship and debate.
Hearing no objection, period of sponsorship and debate is now open. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize Honorable Deputy Speaker Tyrone D. Agabas of 6th District, Pangasinan to sponsor the measure.
The Honorable Deputy Majority Leader is now recognized.
Madam Speaker, I move that the explanatory note of House Bill 10701 be adopted as the sponsorship of the said measure. So move, Madam Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we suspend House Bill 10701.
Before we suspend, the explanatory note is hereby adopted as sponsorship speech. Is there any objection to the motion? Hearing none, motion is approved to suspend consideration of House Bill number 10701. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, with leave of the House, I move for the consideration of the approval on second reading of House Bill number 10590, rectifying the composition and technical descriptions of barangays Calao, Cabaritan, and Quibel in the municipality of Dumalneg, province of Ilocos Norte.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The approval on second reading of House Bill number 10590 is hereby reconsidered.
Madam Speaker, in accordance with Section 59 of the rules, I move that we recommit to the Committee on Local Government House Bill number 10590.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. House Bill number 10590 is hereby recommitted to the Committee on Local Government. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we include additional co-authors to House Bill numbers 10696, 10697, 10698, 10699, and 10701 as contained in the list to be submitted by the Committee on Rules. I so move, Madam Speaker.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, 1 minute suspension.
Session suspended. H kasi yun eh. Session resumed.
Madam Speaker, I move that we suspend session until January 26, 2 p.m. So move, Madam Speaker.
Session is suspended until January 26 at 2 p.m. Thank you. Picture. Okay. Sige. Picture, picture. Madam Friends. Adyan ako, pwede ako bumaba. Gusto ko nga bumaba. Pa ako baba.